So what is up guys, Nick here helping you to master your technology. iPhone 10 on iOS 16 developer beta 2. Now, we're not really just covering beta 2, we're covering kind of just how it runs here on iOS 16, basically on the beta to kind of give you a preliminary look to see if you want to run this when public does become available next month. Now take a look at our battery at the beginning of this video, 75%. If it goes down, you'll know that it's taking, like if it goes down a lot in this video, you'll know we have some battery issues. But I can tell you, I usually do a preliminary check on the phone to see kind of how it does perform beforehand, and it wasn't looking too pretty. But definitely iOS 16 developer beta 2 adds some little things here, but you can already see they've already added new buttons to customize those new lock screen wallpapers. So they're gonna be adding more as time goes on. Developer beta 2 seeming a little choppy here. And remember, this is the Apple A11 Bionic chipset at 2.39 gigahertz. This is the only iPhone with swipe gestures, you know, that kind of has the A11 Bionic chip. So it's the oldest chip with these swipe gestures. So it's got to run all that newer tech, but also with an older chip. So we'll see how it does perform here. So kind of just swiping through the actual phone itself, you can see pretty decent, not horrible. We don't usually have a problem there on iOS, but you can see even going through this, it's a little bit slow, you know, like, yeah, it goes through, but I don't know, I could see a little bit of jankiness there. So already this is looking not super quick. If I go like that, you see how the keyboard kind of just got a little choppy. So I think the iPhone 10 is going to be one of those phones that as time goes on, towards the end, they'll have to put some touches on these older iPhones to make sure they run pretty good. I've noticed anything with the A12 and higher has been doing very well. Face ID just fine. No issues on that front for sure. And then let's check app library, see how this does when opening things. We'll go over here. You could see not bad. And going through here, not bad. So again, regular general iOS use, just fine. Where I ran into some issues was some slow app performance. So let's begin with the apps. All right, so let's go through these applications here to see how they perform. And let's see if it's gonna do better in the video than it did when I was testing it. So far, not looking too bad here. I swear, man, this thing wants to perform better when it gets behind camera. It's like it knows it's behind camera, because prior to this, these apps were, oh, you've seen it right there, kind of like what I'm talking about. These apps were running really pretty choppy. Let's go over here to ESPN, and you can see this is not too bad here and not horrible. Okay, there. So like it did it right there, kind of like just the slow animations, the slow speed. I don't know, it just feels kind of slow. We will check the heat of the phone later as well. I can already feel it burning my finger back here, so a little bit of a burn up there at the top. Best Buy a little bit janky. Let's check out Twitter here, and you can see if I go to Twitter, seems like the phone is still fast. It just needs some polish. So I'm not concerned too much about iPhone 10's performance later this year. As we get closer to official, I think your phone's gonna be fine. But right now I'm concerned about battery. We dropped 2% in just a couple of minutes here. That is pretty trash. So just know that iOS 16 beta, if you decide to run it, probably is gonna trash your battery here on the device. So that's something to keep in mind. Let's hit play right here. And I kind of got to move my fingers because this phone is scorching on the back. It is definitely getting warm here. A lot warmer. Oh, there's some chop. A lot warmer than what I've seen on the 15, especially right here in the camera area. Man, is that thing warm. So not only is the battery going to drain quicker, you're going to notice higher temperatures here as the iOS 16 beta not being fully optimized is pushing this phone a little bit harder than it probably wants to be. You can see going to Starbucks here, pretty solid. So it looks like you can run this, like it's not going to be life or death here in terms of getting your software done and getting your usage out of it, but it's definitely, you can see right here that it's going to be a slower experience. I would say this feels akin right now to a budget Android phone in terms of performance. It kind of feels like a Galaxy A series in performance here on the beta. So it's not really strong right now. You can see games open. A lot of the things that were properly developed for iOS 15.5 though seem to run okay here. Crossy Road not doing too bad, and 3D Mark not doing too bad either. So overall, you can see the apps not horrible for the iPhone 10, still operating okay, but they're kind of laggy. The animations, it's just a little bit of a choppy experience. So if you are looking for good performance here on iOS 16 beta, this is going to be one of those phones I would probably just wait it out. So I had some issues when kind of going through, and you could see it's happening right now. It doesn't look smooth. Can you see it on the camera? I'm not sure if it's picking it up, but usually this thing just flies through when it's fully optimized. So a little bit slow on that front. Let's see how it does with opening these applications. Again, iOS is a master at disguise, kind of holding these app screenshots, not really fully open, but you can see it still seems to be a pretty good experience. As long as you're not opening too many things. Best Buy with a full reload. ESPN had it. Weather starting its reload. Clock, and you've seen some chop right there. Instagram, pretty decent. Man, it doesn't feel good. I just have to be honest with you. It doesn't feel good right now. Again, not worried though. This is just the older iPhones usually slow as heck on the beta, and then they get much faster later. Even the newer iPhones get faster, but those are usually pretty good on beta. These older, did you see the chop? I was talking, but I'm sure if you rewind it back a little bit, you would have seen the chop there on calendar. Oh, it keeps doing it. Look at that. Look at that open right there. It's just not pretty. And you can see we're already down 4%. I think I've recorded maybe 5 or 6 minutes of video, maybe less. 71%. Draining battery quickly. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and open the camera, see how it performs here. A little bit delays on the focusing. You can see telephoto lens there for iPhone 10. We do have the video performing fine. Let's go ahead and try that burst. Still bursting okay. Portrait. Camera feels a little slow, but still seems to operate as you would expect. Let's go ahead and flip it around to the front. You can see how it does here. Yeah, so camera works fine here in the beta, just a little bit slow. Let's check the lock screen version. See if we get any delays there. Again, a little bit slow. Yeah, a little bit slow on the camera from the lock screen, but it still works. I don't like the performance here. I gotta be real with you. I'm trying to be as fair as possible, but it just doesn't feel good. iPhone 10 usually runs pretty smooth on official software, so yeah, I definitely don't like how it's performing so far. And if you notice, I keep moving my hand. It's probably super annoying, but the fact of the matter is this phone's on fire. Okay, it's not literally on fire, but it's definitely pretty hot, pretty warm right here, so I don't really want to touch the top of the device right there. All right, and here is the final Geekbench score, and let's see if the iPhone 10 here actually had worse than the regular. And yes, it wasn't just in my mind, it wasn't just me believing it's performing worse. You can see it's almost 200 points less than the regular official iPhone 10 on an official software. In my device, at least in this multi-core, wow, several hundred points less. Maybe that can explain why the CPU wasn't handling really well when it came to like swiping through those multitasking apps, because we're using, more performance there. You can see well under the average here. So, well, this is my iPhone 10, and if you want to know the battery health, I kept it up there. It's at 100% here. So you can't say, well, Nick, your battery's probably toast, whatever. It's not real. No, look, 100%. So the fact of the matter is, if you want to download this for iPhone 10, you can expect a choppy experience here on iOS 16, at least as of the recording of this video, developer beta 2. We'll see how the public beta performs, but usually this is a good indication. I don't think we're going to see it perform amazingly well for the iPhone 10, but if you want to try it out, you still have an iPhone 10 as a backup phone, it probably won't be an issue. Make sure you do backups and things like that before you consider downloading it. I will catch you all in the next episode. Let me know what you want to see next. Do you want to see another iPhone in this How Does It Run series? Let me know. Comments below. Catch you on the next one. Peace.